Ayo, welcome to another edition of What You Meme News. I'm your amazing host here in Crystal Clear. Come on back, please. Come on back. We got some things to discuss, and one of them is gonna be AP U.S. American History. That's the class it seems like everyone has failed because everybody's not realizing what's going on in this world right now. And if you would have paid better attention in school, you would realize your role in this universe. You would realize your role in your community. You would realize your role as a sovereign human citizen of this globe. Okay, so I just want to let everybody know we see what you're doing. You know, we went to school with y'all. We grew up around y'all. Okay, we live around y'all. We all have social media. Okay, we all have social media. We see everything that everybody does. Okay, so when we're watching y'all vote for evil, it blows our mind because there's no way in the world that y'all could know what love is by choosing to go vote in a presidential election. Okay, the government in its entirety is not your friend. The government in its entirety is actually your slave handler, your master, okay? And for y'all to be acting like this, siding with the government, Green Party, whatever party you are, the entirety of the whole government is a no-go. They're all corrupted. They're all against you. And they're living off your money, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. And I can't even believe, I can't even believe that this is what we're having to endure in 2025. No one has intelligence. No one has street intelligence, economic, financial intelligence, American history intelligence, tyranny intelligence. You guys don't understand totalitarianism. You don't understand communism. You don't understand capitalism. You don't understand systemic racism. And it shows. It really shows. You guys did not pay attention at AP United States history, okay? And then if you fail history, you are doomed to repeat it. So here we are repeating history because you motherfuckers will not refuse to critically think and to learn in school. Now, the fact that the government said they will adjourn the government is set to adjourn on Monday as the Senate has adjourned until that time. These follows a series of failed votes to approve temporary funding measures, leading to the government shutdown continuing into the next day. Now, mind you, today is Friday, Halloween, 10/31/2025. It is Eastern Standard Time of 3:44 p.m. And mind you, that would mean November is Saturday. Saturday. The fact that these fools talking about court will adjourn on Monday and you get your food stamps benefits, Social Security benefits, all that stuff benefits on the 1st, which is technically you'll get it on a Friday or a Monday or a Thursday if they know it falls on the weekend, okay? Now, you need to know your rights as a taxpayer, okay? Today we're going to do U.S. history and economics, and I'm going to show you how the government is supposed to be ran. I'm going to show you how you're supposed to use your tax money, and I'm going to show you how the fate of the world all depends on you. So not the city adjourns on Monday. We have so much money invested in taxes that the government should never, ever be shut down. And if it does, that means someone is mismanaging the funds. Wake the fuck up. IRS, why haven't you stepped in? If we did this in a business world with charities or nonprofits or churches and schools and so forth, you would be fired and on your way to jail. It is the equivalent to messing up the church's money. We pay taxes to provide us a better world on our behalf and not theirs. Okay? No taxation without representation. Does anybody know what this means? No taxation without representation? This is textbooks how not to manage government funds 101. You take care of the people first, then you handle the country's bills, and then you put it up for the citizens when they need FEMA, essential resources, and emergency management because of the crashing of the economy that they have created playing Monopoly. Okay? Why are y'all acting dumb like you don't know how to run a corporation? We are a company and not a country, and you can't dibble and dabble in the citizens' fiscal funds to give lavish upgrades to the government property that belongs to the citizens of that country. What is wrong with y'all? So Donald Trump remodeling for this ballroom is not in the fiscal budget for helping citizens. Okay? Hello? What is wrong with y'all? Then you cheer on at the evil being done to the people affected by the mismanagement of their money. Let me tell you, food stamps recipients, Social Security recipients, SSI recipients, disability recipients, welfare recipients, WIC recipients, grants recipients, HUD recipients, Section 8 recipients, foster kid recipients, homeless recipients, college students. College students are on food stamps because they can't afford college, a job, and living, the cost of living. Okay? When you pay your taxes, it is your money. And it is in a reserve, okay? It is in a reserve, and the government is not supposed to touch it. It is for citizens when they can't have enough food, or when they don't make enough money, or when they have hurricanes, FEMA, medical emergencies, climate emergencies. All of these things that are allotted for the citizens should never go to foreigners, should never go to insider trading, should never go into the politicians' pockets, should never go into the GOP. Okay? It's for the United States tax-paying citizens who live in the country and nothing else. Okay? But the fact that y'all cheer on at the evil being done to the people affected by the mismanagement of their own money, this has to be hell, and y'all are the many and y'all are legion, minions. Ain't no way I would treat my neighbors as such. The government failed us so bad that y'all have Stockholm syndrome and high-functioning demonic possession. Why aren't you for the people? Y'all aren't asking the government for the raises owed to you that they promised to give us back in February 2023. Because your living wages has to match inflation, and y'all act like you can afford to live when no one can. Ain't no way that you side with any of the options that both sides of the government provides. Give the power back to the people, fire everyone, and overthrow your government as they refuse to hand out your money in reparations. Or why not achieve a better government that works for the people without financial and inhumane corruption? How hard is that? Both sides are wrong. Both sides are wrong. You don't keep voting them back in. The phrase no taxation without representation means the citizens should not be taxed by a government unless they have representatives in that government to advocate for their interest. This slogan was popularized during the American Revolution by the colonists who believed that taxes imposed by the British Parliament were unconstitutional since they had no representatives there to voice their concerns. Essentially, it reflects the principle that taxation should be accompanied by political representation and a fundamental right that was denied to the American colonists at the time. Okay? If you're not catching on to what the government is doing, this is Civil War. This is the American Revolution Part 2. This is American Revolution Part 2. Okay? You guys don't understand how the government works. And it shows. It really shows. This is basically AP U.S. history. You guys failed history, and it shows. The phrase "no taxation without representation" is taught in AP U.S. history courses as part of the curriculum. It is a key concept that illustrates the colonists' grievances against the British taxation policies and their desire for self-governance. The phrase is also discussed in the context of American Revolution, highlighting the importance of representation and the governance and the role it played in the formation of the United States. Okay? When we go back and when we look at how much the average American household pays around for taxes, do you know the American citizen pays around 27 to 30% of their income in total taxes each year? Each year. However, this can vary significantly based on income level and location with others. For example, residents of high tax states like California or New York might pay close to about 40% of their income in various taxes, while those in low tax states like Florida might pay closer to 25%. Okay? The government taking your money and redecorating a government project housing, which is the White House, is not in the fiscal budget for taxpayers to pay. All right. This ballroom that he is creating is going to cost approximately $300 million. The cost of Donald Trump's new White House ballroom is approximately $300 million, which is being funded by donors, including Trump himself. This figure has reportedly increased from an earlier estimate, reflecting a significant cost to overrun the project. Now, instead of y'all donating $300 million back to the people, because Donald Trump is abusing his power, fucking up our money, starting the American Revolution Part 2, it's insane to me. It is insane to me. And that ballroom, it actually comes out of taxpayers' money. The White House is just not some house on the market that you can just go rent out when it's out of election season. Okay? Be for real. Be for real. Now, in the fiscal year 2024, the federal government collected approximately $5.1 trillion in gross taxes. In gross taxes. That means it's 400 million people in America. And we're paying 30%. Not to mention we're paying 100% tax, because not to mention when you buy a single item after you do your income taxes, every time you go to Subway, you pay tax on that food. Every time you go to TJ Maxx, you pay tax there. Every time you purchase something, you pay tax. So you're paying, let's say, 1,000% in taxes. 1,000% in taxes, which is crazy. And then for them to have a no sales tax day, hold on. A no sales tax holiday is retarded. That's how bad they know they are robbing you, because they actually gave you a holiday. Anytime you're being robbed or deprived of anything that you're supposed to have, they give it a holiday. You notice that? They kill it off and then they give it their holiday and they monetize off of it. So the government knows they're fucking you over so bad. They say, well, we feel bad, so we're going to start a sales tax holiday, because they're paying tax, 1,000% of taxes, after giving 30% every year, only to receive a income tax of a refund of the money that you've overpaid in taxes. This is crazy. This is crazy. And for anybody, Republican or Democrat or conservative or liberal or Green Party or whatever the fuck you are, to say the government can stay. At this point, everybody has to be impeached. The entire Senate is wrong. The entire GOP is wrong. The entire Constitution is wrong. The entire laws of the land, they are wrong. And you are being robbed. And then not only are you being robbed, but you're being abused, you're in a domestic violent relationship with your government, they're literally hiring law enforcement officers to pretend to be ICE to deport people who are not supposed to be here, when lo and behold, Europeans are not supposed to be here. How many times do you need to understand? Impeach your entire government. Fire your entire government. Execute your entire government. Everybody, even from the ones playing to be good in the Senate, needs to be fired, executed, and prosecuted. This has gone on for 4 terms and everybody's party, and nobody has shut down the government yet. And when we say shut down, we mean indefinite. Meaning give the power back to the people. Okay? The government know that they're robbing you so bad that in several states you have sales tax holidays during specific periods, allowing purchases of certain items to be what? Tax-free. All items need to be tax-free, because don't forget, you're already paying 30% in taxes off the rip. Then you're going what? 2,500,000 of paying taxes year round? Y'all claim to be so smart. From the white people, from the rich white people, from the rich white, from the smart white people, from the rich black people to the smart black people, to the rich Latinos to the smart Latinos, to the rich Jews to the smart Jews. You motherfuckers are evil, because there's no way in the world you can look at this government and you can look at how we literally create $5.1 trillion in taxes. So this $5.1 trillion is supposed to go to repair roads, FEMA, emergency management. When you lose your job, it's to be your insurance. When you go into retirement, it's to be your SSI money. When you are done putting in your tithing, okay, this is why they call it church and state. When you are done giving your tithing to this false god of materialism, capitalism, communism, okay, totalitarianism, when you sit up here and you have to give up your earnings to be a slave, to be beat upon, to be deported, okay? Can you think about all the immigrants who paid taxes and then still got deported? I don't care who you are, but you're going to have to pay taxes whether you purchase something or not, whether you eat or not, whether you breathe or not, whether you're an immigrant or a native or indigenous or a citizen or not. You got to pay taxes. So deporting immigrants is literally giving back to the economy. Anybody who puts a dime into the economy is literally paying for their economy. They're not doing any harm. They're not taking jobs. They're not causing chaos. They're being robbed just like you. And for y'all to sit up here and think the poor class is your problem, you are evil. You are pure motherfucking evil, because you sit up here and you chose to see that the math ain't mathing on how much we pay in taxes, versus the government shutting down and saying, okay, we can give Israel their money, we can give foreign countries their money, we can give Argentina some money, but we can't give our own citizens who actually paid for the money that was given to Israel, Argentina, and all foreign countries. Meanwhile, we have nothing. This financial fiscal plan is not okay. If the country is not taken care of first, no foreign aid should ever be given. Not to mention, you just let Joe Biden give all of our money away to Ukraine for no reason. We are not Ukraine. We are not in a war. And the fact that all the government and all the citizens did not say, hey, if you give Ukraine one more goddamn dime, we're going to chop your hand off and put you on a guillotine. Not one time did the IRS stand in and say, hey, if you give Ukraine one more fucking dime, we will prosecute you right now on the stand and we will execute with the guillotine. Not one time did the White House get audited. Not one time did the Republicans get audited. Not one time did the Democrats get audited. Not one time did anyone step in and said, there's no way in the world we are paying for someone else's war. As a business owner, that's like saying, even though I'm Kmart, I'm going to go pay for Walmart's ads. I'm going to pay for Walmart's warehousing. I'm going to pay for Walmart's inventory. I'm going to pay for Walmart's commercials. That's like, the math is not mathing. So you got to understand why I keep saying this is hell. And the citizens and the voters are the minions to Marbus, President Marbus, the 5th highest ranking fallen angel, the 5th president of hell. It makes sense now, because there's no way in the world you're crying about taxes. You're crying about having to have your hard-earned money thrown away, and you still keep voting in evil from all ends. It's like I'm living in a dream. It's like this can't be real. Like this cannot, the state of the universe cannot be real right now, because why are we as citizens, as 9 billion citizens on this planet, overthrow all governments? Because nobody has a good no way around. This is not okay. That another country pays for another country's war, that another country gives other countries financial aid, but not one country has sent financial aid over here. Where's Israel? Shouldn't they be giving us the money back for foreign aid? They're a very rich country. Their country isn't shut down. Their government isn't shut down. Why is it not? And this is why white people are not smart. Black people are not smart. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It matters how evil you are. It matters your allegiance to whatever devil, whatever demon, whatever God. Y'all are probably praying to Mammon, and Marbus. You are literally minions of the fallen angels. That's what I've concluded on earth, because earth doesn't make sense to me. Not one thing we're doing on earth right now makes fucking sense. We are slaves. And everybody is okay with it, because you're in your different rankings. You're in your different classes. And your slave masters give your benefits differently than they do others. So you don't want to start a war. You don't want to cause a stir. And this is crazy. This is so crazy to me. The fact that in the fiscal year, now today we're going to learn economics and U.S. history. Let's look up the word fiscal. All right. Fiscal is relating to the government revenue, especially taxes, monetary, and fiscal policy, relating to all financial matters, the domestic financial crisis, a legal or treasury official in some countries, okay? Let's look at the fiscal year of 2025. Fiscal year 2025 for the United States runs from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2025, with a projected deficit of $1.8 trillion and significant budgetary priorities outlined by the government. Key budget highlights are the budget structures. The federal budget for the fiscal year of 2025 includes a full-year continuing resolutions, meaning you can't shut down, because if we go by the fiscal policies, it says the federal budget for year 2025 includes a full-year continuing resolution that extends the 2024 budget with limited changes, meaning a shutdown you cannot do. Meaning you told us at the beginning of at the end of the fiscal year for 2024 that for the fiscal year of 2025, the budget was safe. You allotted us a $1.8 trillion. a projected deficit of 1.8 trillion and significant budgetary priorities outlined by the government. Now, mind you, we bring in $5.1 trillion. Okay? We bring in $5.1 trillion for the fiscal year of 2024. So if our deficit or if our budget or if our tab was 8 trillion, we literally had roughly 4 trillion left over to do whatever we wanted to take care of our citizens. You told us in the fiscal year budget that 2025 is taken care of, meaning that it includes a full year of continuing resolution that extends the 2024 budget with limited changes. So when you throw in a ballroom, when you throw in ICE agents, when you throw in how much? The United States has given for 2025 has given Israel 14 billion. The United States has committed to providing Israel with 3.8 billion per year in military aid through 2028. That is half of our fiscal for the year of 2024. You see that? In 2024, we had $5.1 trillion in gross taxes. And we are providing Israel with 3.8 billion per year in military aid through the year 2028 as part of the Memorandum of Understanding. The Memorandum of Understanding. But you shut down your government, and now 42 million citizens need a memorandum of understanding because they don't understand why their benefits has been cut for a fiscal year that was already budgeted and prepared for. That's crazy. The federal budget for year 2025 includes a full year continuing resolution that extends the 2024 budget with limited changes. The budget emphasizes defense spending of 895 billion. And non-defense discretionary spending of $711 billion, reflecting a 1% increase over the fiscal year of 2024. The projected deficit, the Congressional Budget Office estimates a deficit of $1.8 trillion for the fiscal year of 2025, which is $8 billion less than the previous fiscal year. And this deficit is influenced by the increase of revenues from individual income taxes, custom duties, partially offset by a decline in corporate tax receipts. Spending increases. Total outlays for the fiscal year of 2025 are projected to be $7 trillion, an increase of $301 billion for 4% from the fiscal year of 2024. Significant increases are expected in the major benefit programs, including Social Security, Medicare, driven by rising cost and enrollment. Now, you see, there's nowhere in the world that they can say they're cutting off your Medicare. There's no way in the world that they're saying they can't give you Social Security. There's no way in the world that they are cutting off food benefits because you made an outlay of $301 billion to benefit major programs such as this. That means somebody is playing with the money, and now all of a sudden you got an easy $300 million to do a ballroom. No, didn't nobody donate that fucking money. You took that money right out of the fiscal fucking budget. You think we don't know that money is missing? Okay. The fact that Israel is getting 3.8 billion a year is insane. That's insane. This includes 500 million per year specifically for missile defense. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war on October 7, 2023, the United States have provided at least $16.3 billion in direct military aid to Israel. This aid includes a significant amount of military financing, weapon sales, transfers from the United States weapon stockpiles, and the total amount of aid is staggering, with $14 billion in military aid alone committed for the 2022-2025 period. There's no way in the world that you can never say that we don't have enough money to feed our citizens when all the money we have given away. These men need to go to jail. This is extortion. This is misappropriation of funds. If the country is not taken care of first, nobody gets a fucking dime. Why are we paying for any other country's aid? It's not making sense. If Israel can get a memorandum of understanding, then so can the citizens of the United fucking States of America. Every fucking citizen can get $1 billion and we would have been okay. So every year, Israel, which has been only alive since 1949, has been getting $14 billion a year. When it's only 400 million United States citizens, and each citizen could have had $1 billion, and nobody would have been poor. The math ain't mathing. This is misappropriation of funds. It's not fair. And Israel is really the Council of Foreign Relations. When you look up the Council of Foreign Relations, let's go ahead and pull them up. The history of the Council of Foreign Relations. Number one, their story starts out crazy. Their story starts out with every evil villain creating a fucking thing, okay? It was a bunch of white men, white Jewish men who got together. Here they are, your favorite villains. And they're literally taking money from every country, keeping it in their pockets, keeping it in their stocks and trade, robbing from the citizens. This is why we should abolish taxes. You're going to have to abolish taxes if you do not give these people a fucking raise. Okay? Let me blow this up. How can I blow this up? Give me this bigger. The fact that Henry Kissinger was on the fucking Council of Foreign Relations is insane. Henry Kissinger is the guy who created homosexuality. You know that, right? You got George Soros. You got Lloyd Blankenstein, which is a fucking Jew. All of these are Jews. You got Jerome Powell. You got Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen told us in February 2023 that everybody was going to get raises. Yeah, go on and give me this video. Where is that video? I don't want that video. Give me that one. And then give me that one. Yeah, that video right there. Give me that one. All right. Your government is playing in your fucking face. And for some of y'all who love y'all money so much, oh, you can't rob from me. You can't steal from me. Y'all always looking for a come up. Y'all always looking for a new scheme. Y'all swear y'all are scammers. If y'all were scammers, why y'all ain't scammed the government yet? Why y'all being scammed by the government? Okay? Yellen says U.S. inflation fight not a straight line after price rise data. Okay? This fucking evil bitch who, let's look up her worth. Janet. Give me that right there. Janet Yellen is worth $20 million. As of 2025, Janet Yellen's net worth is estimated at $20 million. Her wealth primarily comes from her academic career. That's bullshit. Bullshit. No university teacher makes $20 million a year. Significant government roles and lucrative speaking engagements, particularly during her time as a Federal Reserve Chair and Treasury Secretary. Literally, say if I'm running a business and she's literally the bank teller's secretary. She's the bank manager's secretary. She's the treasurer's secretary. She is the secretary to our money. How does she have a $20 million net worth if she's the secretary to the treasurer? Make it make sense. They do insider trading. Okay? This is pathetic. This is fucking pathetic. Is Janet Yellen the richest person in Trump's cabinet? You see this? Why is Trump's cabinet and why everybody in the GOP make more than you do? Wake up. This is crazy. This is the Senate, John Kennedy, grilling the Secretary of Treasurer, which is the Secretary of the Money. Why haven't y'all reduced the deficit? Why?
Madam Secretary, isn't it a fact that the President's proposed budget for next fiscal year is $500 billion more than this fiscal year?
This, on the spending side?
Yes. That's what a budget is.
Yeah. It is about $400 billion.
It's about $500 billion more, right?
It's about what?
$500 billion more, right?
About that.
Isn't it a fact that since 2019 until today, I'm not including the extra $500 billion that y'all want to spend, since 2019 through today, U.S. population has increased 1.8%, and the federal government's budget is up 55%. Isn't that a fact?
Well, we had a pandemic.
Isn't that a fact, though? Are my numbers right?
I don't know those numbers.
You don't know? You never looked at that?
I don't have those numbers in my head. I'm not disputing them.
Okay. Isn't it a fact that the President's proposed budget proposes $4.7 trillion in new taxes?
It does propose significant additional taxes, yes.
4.7 trillion?
In new taxes, 4.7 trillion in new taxes. Mind you,
Okay.
we make 5.1 trillion a year. That's crazy.
Isn't it a fact that under President Biden's proposed budget, that gross debt will rise from $32.7 trillion at the close of this year to $51 trillion by 2033?
I'm sorry, what number did you give me for?
The President's proposed budget will increase gross debt from $33 trillion at the close of this year to $51 trillion in 2033. Isn't that correct?
Well, debt held by the public, which is...
No, ma'am, that's gross debt. Isn't that a fact?
That's probably a fact.
So you haven't reduced the deficit, have you?
the deficit, the debt and deficits are reduced by the president's
How can
budget.
you go from $33 trillion to $51 trillion and call that a reduction in the deficit?
Because that line, and then you compare the budget and the deficits and debt in the budget with a baseline in which there are none of the changes either in revenues or in spending.
Here's my baseline. Here's my baseline. At the end of this year, we project people a lot smarter than me, probably not than you, but smarter than me, say that gross debt's $33 trillion. They say if the president's budget is implemented by 2033, it'll be $51 trillion. Isn't that a fact?
If the president's budget is not implemented and none of the changes are made, it will be worse than that. And so the president's budget has improved the fiscal outlook relative to, and deficits are reduced by the president's budget.
How can you go from $33 trillion to $51 trillion and call that a reduction in the deficit?
Because that's a calculation for which you need a baseline, and then you compare the budget and the deficits and debt in the budget with a baseline in which there are none of the changes either in revenues or in spending that are proposed.
Here's my baseline.
She said a whole bunch of nothing. She said a whole bunch of fucking nothing.
Here's my baseline. At the end of this year, we project people a lot smarter than me, probably not than you, but smarter than me, say that gross debt's $33 trillion. They say if the president's budget is implemented by 2033, it'll be $51 trillion. Isn't that a fact?
If the president's budget is not implemented and none of the changes are made, it will be worse than that. And so the president's budget has improved the fiscal outlook relative to what we would have without the president's proposals.
Even though it raises gross debt from $33 trillion to $51 trillion, you say that's an improvement.
It is an improvement because it raises taxes by more. And
we don't want to raise taxes, you dumb bitch. Are you guys listening to this? This was March 22nd, 2023. Listen to me and listen to me well. When you're running a country, when you're running your household, do you work to make money for other houses on the street? When you go to work every day, do you pay your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your mama, your daddy bills? Do you do that? You don't? Okay, no. So why would a country pay somebody else's bills? This is the biggest misappropriation of funds I've ever seen in my life. Matter of fact, the government is so fucking corrupt that they got y'all literally saying, okay, it's okay to fuck up the church's money. No, it's never okay. This is why Trump has to be impeached. And everyone who was a politician before this very day, you have to be prosecuted and you have to be executed. Because there's no way in the world that anyone with a law degree, a degree in civil law, a degree in politics, a degree in mathematician, there's no way in the world that the smartest people in the world came together and said, let's take all the money we have and give it to someone else and starve ourselves. No one in the world has said, okay, I got to take care of this house. Then I got to take care of my neighbor's house. Then I got to take care of my neighbor's house next to my neighbor's neighbors, 3 doors down. Nobody in the history of ever living and creating a wage and taking care of their family and their household has never said, I have to pay for every country or every house in America. So as a grown-ass woman, as a grown-ass adult, I ask you, America, I ask you, Earth, how is this a good idea in any light or right? Why would we use funds created for our house to take care of another house? When did this is why I said this is hell. And everybody who's in on this bullshit are minions. They are legions. They have no souls. There's no way in the world that all the smart people like Warren Buffett, all the celebrities, all the billionaires, all the people with money got together and said, let's collect all of our money from our hardworking slaves and give it to Israel. But we'll suffer while we give to Israel, Ukraine, Argentina, and everybody else. There's no way you could be a CPA or an accountant and say the way that America is running their country is okay. There's no way that our elders before us looked at this idea and said that this is okay and how we want to run our world, our country, our life, and all. There's no way that a grown-ass adult said, I'm going to give you all of my goddamn money and I want you to give it away to other countries while I suffer. Did y'all sell your souls? Because there's no way in the world you can think this is a good idea. There's no way in the world a GOP, a politician, a senator, a mayor, a governor, a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, a mathematician, a scientist, no way a billionaire could say this is the greatest idea. A billionaire wouldn't even give his money to the poor, let alone why would a billionaire give his money to Israel? Now you tell me, by me just saying those simple words, am I missing something? I mean, did we miss something? That's like you giving me all of your money and not being able to eat or pay your bills. How is this smart? How is this okay? How? So can we just go ahead and say that the billionaires and the people who run our country are scammers, professional criminals, a mafia, a mob? You guys, they need to go to jail. Whoever created this system, you need to go to jail. You cannot say God is real when you got humans taking all of our hard-earned money and giving it away to other people. Isn't God so powerful and so mighty? Wouldn't he strike them down if he was real? Wouldn't God say, you can't get that money away like that? At what point is evil going to stop winning? At what point will the good win? At what point will God say, man, I sure am tired of them humans treating them other humans bad? Where is God in all of this? There has to be no God if a basic ass human can walk up to you, kidnap you, shoot you, rape you, kill you, and get rid of you. There can be no God if your government say, I'm going to take all of your money, give it away, watch you suffer, and let you die. Then I'm going to poison you with chemicals in your food, chemicals in your air, and then see how you fare. There's no way that you're going to convince me that we have a loving Savior who is benevolent and watches over all of us. Jesus cannot be king if his people are starving, poor, sick, hungry, and dead. I'm sorry. Your president can't be a good president if he's letting all your money go to other foreign countries and then the foreign countries never help you back out. If you went to a bank and said, I'm going to take this money out of the United States account and I'm going to put the money that's in the bank's vault into another bank, you would go to jail. This video has to be awakening to you because now you see that if your government and your God is taking all of your fucking money from you, giving you no reparation, restitution, no funding, no benefits, no back pay, no insurance. If your government and if your God always takes from you but never replenishes your cup, you're a goddamn fool. Who are you worshiping? It can't be. Your God hates you if all of this is going on. Your president hates you if all of this is going on in the name of God, in the name of the president. And I can't make y'all see that earth is not what it is. Nobody's coming to save you. You're going to have to save your fucking self. This is ridiculous. And it keeps going on and on and on. There's no way that you can say this is okay. It's not okay. They've literally raised the deficit to $4 trillion. We only bring in $5 trillion. So that would leave that would leave $1 trillion left over to take care of the citizens of America. It's never enough. It will never be enough. It's not enough. Everybody could have had their reparations 20 trillion times over. Think about it. If we give Israel $14 trillion a year, it's only 400 million people in the United States. We've given Israel $14 trillion every since 1949. Whew. Let's do the math on that. That's 76 years. 76 years times 14 trillion. Lord, help me. Listen here. Listen here. It's like $1 gazillion. This is like what comes at the trillion? Whatever comes at the trillion, that's how much money is supposed to be in the U.S. Reserve. That's how much money we're supposed to have $1 trillion left over in our U.S. Treasury from 1949. Do you understand that? It's mismanagement of money every term, no matter the president. That means it is your government in the entirety. Not just, Obama, not just Trump, not just Biden, not just Bush, not just fucking Clinton. It's all of them. Your government has been corrupted by all of them. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all can't be this stupid. I'm convinced everybody who is literally helping in the demise of the human nation on earth got to be a demon. Y'all have to be demons because there's no way in the world any sane, logical, conscious human being that is an adult on this planet says this plan is A-okay. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, how? The math is not mathing. How much revenue has the U.S. government collected this year? 5.23 trillion. 5.23 trillion. Now let's do 5.23 trillion divided by 400 million people. Let's see, hold on. 23 trillion. All right. All right. So if we take $5.23 trillion and we divide it between 400 million people, that would mean each person will receive $13,000. 13,000. That means each person has contributed $13,000 to gain us $5.23 trillion. Do you see how you're overpaying in taxes? Do you see you've already given the government $13,000 straight off your paycheck? Say if you made $50,000 a year, and you're giving the government $13,000 a year. That's a little bit much of your salary. That's like paying tithe. Get rid of the income tax. If they can't take this money, which they're pulling $13,000 a year out of everybody's household, if everybody's household doesn't get taken care of, can't nobody receive foreign aid. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? There's no way in the world that 13,000 straight off the rip, and I haven't even counted the sales tax that you pay on your shirts, on your chips, on your cigar wraps, on your tobaccos, on your hair, all the sales tax that you pay, that they had to turn around and give you a sales-free tax holiday, is insane. We don't have the money to fund Israel. We don't have the money to farm Argentina, to aid Argentina. We barely have the money to take care of ourselves. You understand this, right? Also, if you are receiving food, what? Each citizen has given in $13,000 a year. So you know what that means? If you're receiving food stamps, let me do the math, and say the most a mama can get, you get $250 per kid. $250 per kid. Say if you got a family of 8 times $250, you get $2,000 in food stamps a month times 12. That's $24,000. Okay? You've already put in $13,000. So you're only getting a government aid of over $11,000. $11,000. Why can't you receive a little bit extra? That's what government funding is for, is to literally protect the government when they can't make ends meet. It's literally your money that you've already put in. It's your money. How are y'all complaining about food stamp recipients when it's their tax money? They can do whatever they want to with it. Whatever they want to, whatever gets their household by, they can do it. In 2025, the largest source of federal revenue was individual income taxes, which is 50% of total revenue. So far in the fiscal year of 2025, the largest source of federal revenue is individual income taxes of 50%. You are giving 50% of your wages to the federal government. The federal revenue is used to fund a variety of goods, programs, and services to support the American public and pay interest on government debt. The revenue is typically measured by fiscal year. Now, if the money is supposed to use to pay on government debt, please tell me how. Please tell me how. Paying for Israel's
having to cut people off. Senator
paying for Israel's
Jones
aid
next.
is okay. It's not okay. It's not in the budget. It's not what you're supposed to use the money for. It's not. So the fact that we have proof that the government has been giving away funds for years and years on end to Israel, Ukraine, Argentina is a literal tax invasion. That is an extortion of funds. That is misappropriation of funds. Did you see that? I just told you what tax money is supposed to be used for. What the fucking government is supposed to be used for. Federal revenue is used to fund a variety of goods and programs and services to support the American public. It is for food stamps because it's the food stamp recipients' money. Are y'all dumb? And you can't have food stamps. Why not? They paid the money. It's like insurance. Okay? You know how insurance works? If you get an insurance and you pay your premium all year, you can have so many surgeries, so many visits, so many co-pays because you've paid into the insurance. So if you get hurt, or if your household don't make enough money, or if your household doesn't have enough food, the insurance money that you have put in federal revenue goes to back you up, not Israel. How dare you come after food stamp recipients when it's their fucking money? Are y'all stupid? Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you fucking dumb? How dumb can you be? Then not to mention, food stamp recipients have to go to work. So they're not sitting at home on their butt. It's just, guess what? They've already put in enough money to where they can apply programs. If they don't make enough in their household, that will cover their stay on their land, in their house, in their government. You guys are so fucking dumb. You are so fucking evil. You are so fucking facetious. You are so fucking without a soul. It's not fucking funny. In order to get food stamps, guess what, guys? You have to work. It's called the Food Stamp Program to Work. The Food Stamp Program, officially known as Supplement Nutrition Assistance Program, is designed to help low-income individuals and families purchase nutritious food. Here's how it works. The eligibility to qualify for SNAP. Applicants must meet certain income and asset limits. Okay? Once enrolled, guess what? You have to have a fucking job. Okay? You gotta have a fucking job. Hold on. The food stamp program requires you to work 20 hours. Individuals to work at least 20 hours per week to maintain eligibility for benefits. Y'all, this says the economy is so bad that you're at a minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. If your rent is $1,000, federal minimum wage, give me the federal minimum wage. Federal minimum wage, $7.25 per hour, ordered by your government. If a grown-ass adult who don't go to college, and now mind you, college costs money. College is a scam because everybody got a degree, and now all of a sudden, everybody's being laid off because they're bringing in AI. So no, diplomas are dead. Degrees are dead. Okay? There's no point in you going to school to make good money. Go get a trade. Go learn welding. Go learn plumbing. Go learn air conditioner, HVAC. Go be a truck driver. School is dead. Education is dead. Okay? So can you imagine paying $60,000 in student loans to college only for you to never get a job in your field? So you got to come back into the same forced work labor market. And the highest that they'll start is $7.25 an hour. Now, $7.25 an hour times what? A 40-hour work week? Say if you work 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, 8 times 7.25. 8 hours a day at $7.25 is $58 a day. Times 7. So you're making $406 a week. Times 4. You're bringing home $6,200 a month. If your rent is $1,000, if the average rent is $1,000, average rent in the United States is $1,630 a month. What? So we did $7.25 times 8, $58 a day times 7. And I'm being generous by adding 2 more days, but I know you're working overtime, so you're working 7 days a week. Times 4 gives us, you make $1,600 a month. Now, if the average rent in the United States is $1,630 a month, you don't even make enough. Look at that. $1,630, baby, you don't even have enough. You $6 short from $613 a month. You are $6 short from $1,630 a month. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. But the federal minimum wage is $7.25 per hour. When will you realize that you are slaves? But your God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. How can God be good at $7.25 per hour when you need $1,600 just in rent? Let's see the average car payment. The average car payment $749 monthly. Let's say $749 a month plus $1,600 a month. Your insurance is $500 a month. All right, let's do it this way. $1,630 plus $794 plus $500 in insurance. We ain't even got to the power. Power bills are now average of $300 to $600 a month. Okay? We ain't even add your power in yet. That's just rent, car payment, and insurance. We haven't even added in power. Okay? Watch this. Average I know I've been having $600 fucking power bills every month. This is a fucking lie. Nope. 140 a month. No. I can show you my power bill right now. Right, blood clot now. Right, blood clot now. Matter of fact, hold on. All right, Georgia power bill. $691. $691. Are you for real? Are you for real? So we've added that on. So plus 600. And you ain't even ate groceries yet. You ain't even had no groceries. And your cell phone bill. So let's, the average. That's a lie. $504? No, that's how much it's going to cost you in a week. That's a week's worth of food. So let's go ahead and say $500 a week. 5, 10, 15, 20. So 2,000 in food a month plus 2,000 in food. You're going to have to make $5,500. $5,500. How can you make $5,500 if the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour? How? How can the government sit up here and be okay with $7.25 per hour? That's not okay. That's not fucking okay at all. That's not okay at all. Minimum wage is going to have to go up to $50 per hour to match inflation. To match inflation. Okay? Be for fucking real. All right? So you can't tell me that this ain't hell. You cannot tell me we are not in hell, that every adult who has money says, okay, we're going to pull all the money from the poor people and we're going to make the poor people pay for the economy. You just can't. There's no way in the world. These people don't have any souls. This is hell, y'all. You know that, right? Earth is hell. So in addition to taxes, government revenue also comes from custom duties, leases of government-owned land and buildings, the sale of natural resources, various usage and licensing fees, and payments to federal agencies like the U.S. Department of the Interior, which I don't even know why we have one. Federal revenue is commonly compared to gross domestic product. This comparison provides a sense of size of the federal government's earnings in relation to the total amount of the entire country's economy output in the fiscal year 2025. Federal revenue was equal to 17% of total gross domestic product or economic activity of the United States that year for $30 trillion. We're bringing in more than 5 trillion, 1 trillion. We're bringing in way more money than that, and they're hiding it. Well, where does federal revenue come from? If you lived or worked in the United States in 2025, your tax contributions are likely part of $5.23 trillion collected in revenue. The federal government also collects revenue from services like admissions to national parks and custom duties on foreign imports and exports. The majority of this revenue is used to pay for government activities, employee salaries, infrastructure maintenance, as well as to pay for goods and services provided to the United States citizens and businesses. That's why your government wanted to destroy America, so they outsourced all the jobs to foreign countries. You know that, right? You do know that, right? It's called the immigration trade, immigration migration. All right, immigration migration. All right. The immigration and migration trade is where Americans literally go to other countries and bring them over here because, you know, all the politicians, all the government officials, they own all these big businesses and they want slave wages. That's why their minimum wage is $7.25, because all the people who are in the government owns the country. Hello, wake up. Glad you're attending class. So these fools want to keep labor very low. That's why you work for pennies. That's why everybody's saying, oh, you don't need to be working no $20 an hour at no McDonald's. Yes, the fuck you do. Because not only are you running the register, you're running the burger machine, the fry machine. You are taking up orders. You are doing cleaning. You are running a business. You are the CEO. Why do you think when they hire you, they say you got to do 12 jobs for one wage? You got to do 12 jobs for one wage. That's why if I become president, no, businesses are going to start paying you for every job that you do. So if today you're on the fries and you run the fries and the register, you're getting paid like 2 people because you're doing 2 jobs. A CEO doesn't only pay himself for one role. I'm a CEO of my own goddamn company. And you know what? I pay myself for production, for accounting, for inventory, for shipping, cleanup. I'm the janitor. I gotta do maintenance. I gotta manage inventory. I pay myself for all of those roles that I pay. But these corporate companies like Barnes and Noble, Starbucks, H&M, Old Navy, all of these companies want you to work for $7.25 an hour, but they want you to open a store, run the register, do inventory, do stocking, do accounting, be the manager, be security. Security is a whole nother pay within itself. Do y'all hate yourself so bad that you don't know your worth? You're not worth $7.25 an hour. You're not worth $15 an hour. You're worth $50 to $100 an hour, and that's just bare minimum. The minimum wage needs to be raised to $80 an hour just so you can fucking live and get by. Do you not see your worth? You are a slave. And you got to pay how many roles? You know why I say $80 an hour? Because I say you should be $10 for each role that you play. So if you come in, you know how many times, go look at Family Dollar, go look at Dollar General, go look at the hospitals. How many times have you walked into a business and seen them short-staffed? And that one worker who shows up, plays the role and does the whole store. This is why I say, no, you need to get paid for each role that you work. So $10 for each role. That's $80 an hour. If you play 8 roles in a store, that's $80 an hour. Know your worth. Then you do overtime. You do overtime, 8 roles overtime. It should be against the law to be understaffed. It should be against the law to be understaffed. That is a human rights violation if you're making one person do 8 roles. That means that $7.25 an hour, 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 $7.20. You just did 8 people roles. So you need to be getting paid as you are 8 people. How hard is this? I feel like I'm the only smart person left on the planet. I feel like I'm the only person who loves himself. I feel like I'm the only person who sees through the goddamn bullshit and nobody is waking up. I'm like, yo, we're in hell. Yo, we're in hell. Y'all, we need to climb out of hell. Y'all, they're treating us like slaves. We need to fight back. We're not slaves. It's like y'all don't love yourself enough to say, I'm not worth $7.25 an hour. It's like y'all don't love yourself enough to say, no, I'm not giving. It's like y'all don't love yourself enough to be like, no, I'm not giving you any of my taxes. No, I'm not giving you any of my money. No, none of my money can go to Israel. Give the power back to the motherfucking people. It's as simple as that. No group should ever rule over a group of people. No group. Everyone should have a say-so in their lives. That's democracy. That is democracy for the republic. That's why Democrats and Republicans should never have a separate party, because democracy has to happen for the republic. You are a republic who's in search of democracy. I hate stupid people. I hate this. You see why I be feeling by myself? You see why I be feeling alone? Y'all are stupid. The government should never have a separate party when the government is one. The government is one. Y'all are so stupid. God damn. Oh my God. It's like, this can't be real life. This cannot be real fucking life. There's no way in the world y'all are going along with this and calling yourself smart scholars, doctors, masters, bachelors of whatever. There's no way in the world this is okay. Nowhere. 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 All right. Anyway, the immigration migration trade is the impact of migration on labor. So all the rich people get together and say, you know what? I got this $1 billion company and I'm going to hire you to run this $1 billion company at $10 an hour. Well, shit, I'll be generous. I'll say $15 an hour. And then I give you $15 and then I'll tax you on that. Then not to mention when you go pull your money out of the ATM charges a service fee to get your money. See that? No taxation without representation. ATM fees has risen yet again, going up from $3 to $4. I'm not giving you money to get my goddamn money. How stupid are y'all on earth? How stupid is your God to even allow this behavior to go on? How stupid are ye with nothing but faith and dumbness in your goddamn brain? That faith that you have of a mustard seed is getting you fucking robbed, you idiot. I cannot stress enough how stupid the global citizen is, because there's nowhere in the world I'm going to keep a government in place that is charging me to keep my money and charging me to pull my money out. Are y'all insane? But your God is an awesome God, and your God is good all the time, and your faith lies in your God. Why would your God let you get robbed? Why would your president let you get robbed? The math ain't mathing to me. It's like the Twilight Zone. We need to shut down all banks. We need to shut down all government offices and give the power back to the fucking people. How hard is that? Huh? How fucking hard is that? Y'all make no sense as a people. You make no sense as adults. You make no sense as a race. You make no sense as a living organism. You make no sense to sit up here and take this motherfucking abuse. It is abuse. It is abuse of the highest order. And you say your God ordained this? Then you go to church on a Sunday to give more money away? Oh my... Get me up the fuck out of here. Get me the fuck up out of here. There's no way this is earth. There's no way nobody God is good. Everybody God sucks. Nobody president is good. Everybody president sucks. Hey, look. Why Norway continues to rank amongst the world's happiest places to live. You know that? Norway is literally giving their money back to their people. Literally. What makes Norway the happiest place to live? They are literally giving all of their money back to their fucking people. You know that, right? You know that, right? Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to put that out there. You can be treated better. You can. They just think you're stupid, because you are stupid, because you're letting them do this to you. So, in the fiscal year of 2025, the federal government spent $7.1 trillion. Since the government spent more than it collected, the deficit for the 2025 was $1.78 trillion. How did they spend over the budget? That's like your bank account being overdrawn. If you don't have $7.1 trillion in your bank account, there's no bank in the world that's going to let you overdraft $1.78 trillion. Just be for real. Be for fucking real. It's overdrafting. What bank does the United States bank with to the fact that they let them overdraw the fucking account to $1.78 trillion? And let me tell you something. There's no money in banks. Banks, all that money in the banks. And do you know, if everybody walked to the bank at one time and say, okay, pull their money out at one time, the bank will never have enough money to literally fund everybody? You know, all they keep in the vault is change, right? The actual money that is, say Wells Fargo net worth is insane. You think they keep that amount of money of customers that they have in the bank in the actual vault? No, sirs and ma'ams. No, sirs and ma'ams. Even the bank got a bank. Even the bank got a bank. Okay? The total source of revenue for the United States federal government. Did you know that Social Security and Medicare, food stamps, and taxes make up for 51% of the revenue? Yes, sir. That's why the government officials went to attack Social Security, Medicare, and food stamps because they are the money makers. Not the individual income taxes. No. Not the fucking buyer who don't get food stamps. Not the buyer who don't get Social Security. Not the buyer who's on Medicare. No. You know why? Because you motherfuckers are broke. You don't get food stamps, right? So you got to pay for shit with cash. You really don't have no money. That's why you're walking around with a credit card bill. Let's be honest. The rich part who is literally contributing, they don't have cash. They're living off credit card debt. Credit card debt. Meanwhile, Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, SNAP benefits, and grants and taxes are over here making up for 51% of the total revenue that fucking comes in, idiots. You can't get rid of the food stamp recipients. They make up the economy. You cannot get rid of Social Security benefits because they make up the economy. You cannot get rid of Medicare because what? They make up the economy. Y'all are dumb. You are so dumb that you are embarrassing me as a citizen of this planet. You would rather go against your own people to protect the government who is robbing you? I hate every last one of you motherfuckers who got mad at food stamps, Social Security, Medicare, people getting affected by losing their fucking benefits when they make up for the majority of the goddamn money. Without them, we wouldn't have an economy because you're too broke, you're too poor, you're not putting enough cash back into the economy, and you're living off credit card debt. It's economics 101. How dare you? Matter of fact, put some goddamn respect on food stamp recipients, on Social Security recipients, on Medicare recipients, on welfare recipients' goddamn name when they're out here carrying the economy like they're carrying the fucking economy. Bow down to the motherfuckers because they carrying your goddamn weight. How dumb are you? They make up for 51% of total income for the economy. Bow fucking down to these people who are carrying your fucking weight. They go get cash and they produce it and they put it back into the economy, which is much as we can say for you. You're not doing it. You're taking out loans. You got credit card debt. You know what they don't have? It's damn sure ain't credit card debt. They have cash at disposal. They have resources at disposal. They are the economy. They make up the economy. That's weird. That's weird. Meanwhile, you keep corporate paid the fuck up. You keep designers, Louis Vuitton and all of them. You keep them. Y'all think it's the poor people doing it? No, baby. They buy knockoffs. You're the only one supporting the rich people by buying real Gucci, by buying real Louis Vuitton. Hey, these fools ain't gonna do it. No, sir, no, ma'am. Baby, they okay with going to the hopping shop, getting a fucking knockoff and going by their motherfucking day. But you, Mr. Credit Card Debt Man, Mr. Student Loan Debt Man, y'all are literally weighing on the goddamn economy and bringing us down. Signed up for another loan, huh? Took out another loan on your house, huh? You owe the fucking lenders of that fucking loan. You know that, right? Them loans don't weigh back on the economy. Them loans don't fall back on us. Them loans fall back on y'all. Wake the fuck up. You're making the rich richer. The poor ain't doing it. It's the rich doing it. It's the middle class doing it. Social Security and Medicare taxes, unlike personal income taxes, which support a variety of programs, these taxes are only used to fund Social Security and Medicare. These funds are collected from your paycheck in most cases, matched by your employer, and then divided into separate trust funds that support each of those programs. Social Security has two trust fund accounts, the Old Age and the Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, and the Disability Trust Fund. These funds and these accounts are responsible for providing workers and their families with retirement, disabilities, and survivors insurance benefits. Meaning, if you have put in this economy, if you have paid your dues in this economy, you have a trust fund allotted for you. Now, the trust fund can come in Social Security, it can come in Medicare, it can come in food stamps, it can come in disability, it can come in survivors insurance. And that's just the regular people who are surviving from recession to recession, from economy to economy. This is AP US History 101 fucking 1. You didn't pay attention? Well, I'm going to make you pay attention now. Okay? You literally have a trust fund set aside for you from all the money that you put into this government, that if anything happens to you, say if you lose your job, if you have a baby, if you can't find work, there is a trust fund. That's why you're worth $1 billion. You have a trust fund. That's why the government is making money off you. Okay? That's why certain companies you go to, those are your handlers. Those are your slave masters. Slavery never died. It just got moved from the 8 to 5 from the plantation. Okay? Wake up. This is your money. You're supposed to have Social Security. Everyone is supposed to have food stamps. Everyone is supposed to have Medicare. Everyone is supposed to have SSI. Everyone is supposed to have disability automatically. It is in your trust fund. It is in the fine print of being a human being. Okay? Medicare also has two accounts, the Hospital Insurance Trust Fund, also known as the Medicare Part A, and the Supplementary Medicare Insurance Trust Fund. And these funds pay for hospitals, home health, skilled nursing, and hospice care for the elderly and the disabled. You're not even supposed to have insurance because you already have insurance, and it's called Social Security. It is called Medicare taxes. It is called the Sovereign Citizens Trust Fund. You are a trust fund. You're supposed to never have a medical bill because guess what? Your Medicaid A and B supplementary Medicare Insurance Trust Fund already takes care of you. So if you're paying for separate insurance, you are being bamboozled. You are being robbed because you already have insurance, and you have so much insurance that you have a trust fund full of insurance money waiting on you to pay for a hospital visit, waiting for you to have home health, waiting for you to have skilled nursing, and ready for you to have hospice care. That's why no elderly should never have to pay for hospice because it's already paid for. No elderly should never have to pay for a hospice home because guess what? It's already paid for. You don't have to pay for a nursing home. Guess what? When we go look up the fiscal data and the treasury data from the United States, every citizen is allotted a trust fund. Don't worry about going to that nursing home, because guess what? You got a trust fund. And the fact that your family is paying for a separate trust fund when the government already has an allotted trust fund for you to have a nursing home, all the medical attention that you need, all hospice paid off, is fraud. It's a scam. Every insurance company need to be refunding all the money they've ever gotten from anyone, because we have a trust fund. And for the different insurance companies to come out and literally say, okay, you got to have dental insurance. Okay, you got to have health insurance. Okay, you got to have eye insurance. That's a scam. I just showed you where the government has allotted you a trust fund for those things. Your debt is already paid. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about sovereign citizens. Sovereign citizen says, I'm so sovereign that all of my God-given rights are met. I'm so sovereign, all of my God-given rights like free health care, free education, a trust fund to allot me if anything ever happened to me, I have a health insurance trust fund to where I can go to a hospital and I don't have to come out a dime out of my pocket. I don't need insurance. I don't need anything like that. That's what your trust fund pays for. A hospital worker is a government worker. A CNA is a government worker. A doctor is a government worker. A president is a government worker. Because how do you think this money is getting paid out? It's getting paid out through your trust fund for being a sovereign citizen. Does that help? This is why we're having AP US history right now, because history is going to keep repeating itself if you guys don't learn what your liberties are, what your freedoms are, what your constitution is, and what your role is as a sovereign citizen of the United States or of the globe. Okay? You've put in so much money that you don't have to pay anyone money. So any money that the government took from you, whether it be IRS, income tax, health insurance, car insurance, whether it be anything of the sort, the government literally owes you reparations. This is why everybody gets reparations, because you have paid in too much money and you already have a trust fund with $1 billion in it sitting there waiting on you to be used. But the government is taking this money and they're filling in their pockets and they're doing inside trading. The government is the mafia. The government is the mob. The government is the fucking cabal. And you guys are letting them shake you fucking down? This can't be life. This just really can't be life. That's why God isn't real. Jesus isn't real. None of these people that y'all keep praying to is literally letting y'all live like this. There's no way in the world. There's no way in the fucking world you're giving out libations. There's no way in the world you're making an altar. There's no way in the world you're paying tithing to all of these deities only for you to live at $7.25 an hour and be remembered as a slave. And you can't say shit to me, because this is the state of our world. This is the reality of our world. You can't step to me. You can't say, Crystal, you're wrong. You can't say, Crystal, let me do a rebuttal. You can't say shit, because this is the reality that we live in. Checkmate. Checkmate. Checkmate on your God. Checkmate on your president. Checkmate on your political affiliation. Checkmate on the head of your household. Checkmate on you, bitch nigga. You're not smarter than me. You're not smart. If you were so smart, why wouldn't you overthrow the government? They're robbing you. If you were so holy, if you were so chosen, if you were so woke, why haven't you overthrown the government? Why do you keep praying for relief that will never come? Why? What are you praying for? If prayers work, you wouldn't be poor. If prayers work, children would literally be saved and rescued from being raped and murdered. Children would stop going missing if prayers worked. Literally. If prayers worked, we would never, ever, 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 ever have evil step to our door. If prayers worked, no one would ever die. You get my point? Okay, I'm glad you do. Moving on, because I got so much to teach you and so much to show you. So from 1868 until 1913, 90% of all federal revenue came from taxes on liquor, beer, wine, and tobacco. That's why they won't ban alcohol, which they need to, because it allows spirits in your bodies. Let me show you how much this is hell. Alcohol means all right. Hold on. That's why alcohol used to be called spirits. This is how you know you're living in hell. The term spirits in the context of alcohol refers to the distilled essence of spirit of the liquid captured during the distillation process. Okay? When you drink alcohol, what happens? You lose all consciousness. You lose all consciousness and you let the spirit in. You let whatever spirit use you. That's why every time somebody drinks alcohol, they're ready to fuck. Every time someone drinks alcohol, whenever they get in a wreck and a DUI, they never get hurt. They was possessed. They were possessed. They had spirits enter their body. Okay? That's why the government keeps offering y'all fucking alcohol. Alcohol is the Arabic word from which alcohol is. In its Arabic translation, alcohol means body, eating spirit. Why do you think the strongest of the alcoholic beverages are called spirits? Drinking alcohol is one of the fastest things you can do to lower your vibration, as it is used as a tool to keep you from being consciousness and at a low vibrational state for thousands of people. Okay? That's why the government won't ban alcohol, but they keep letting everybody and their mama drive inebriated. Get rid of this shit. Wrap it the fuck up. Go back to prohibition days and make this shit fucking illegal. Alcohol is so nasty now, I refuse to drink it. It's ethanol. Why are we drinking ethanol in our body? It's literally ethanol. We wouldn't drink rubbing alcohol. We wouldn't drink the ethanol in our gas tank. Well, why are y'all out having whiskey, vodka, and gin and rum? That's crazy. So that's why these Jewish record label owners always are promoting spirits, promoting alcohol, like P. Diddy was doing De Leon, Ciroc, and all that shit. That's why them hip-hop artists, oh, I'm drinking on Henny, I'm drinking on this. That they're promoting you to open your body for spiritual possession. Because this is hell. This is hell, people. Okay? The fact that the Council on Foreign Relations is ran by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Illuminati is pretty fucking sad. You got James D. Wolfensohn, president of the World Bank right here. You got Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger created homosexuality. Let me go get my book. Bing, why are y'all cleaning up? Why are y'all cleaning up your goddamn internet? They scrubbing the internet again. Anyway, in a memorandum in the books, Henry Kissinger went as far as have HIV created to wipe out black men. It first started off as wiping out wiping out the black man, and then they went as far as say, well, hell, let's get them all. Okay, let's get them all. Anyway, Henry Kissinger literally said, listen, make them gay. This is when they started AIDS. Let's see. Give me that one. I wish they quit wiping the fucking internet. God dang it. Yeah, they done took all of it down. Anyway, he's the reason why everybody's gay. Okay? I can't find it. But anyway, book reveals Nixon's feelings on gay people, women, Kissinger, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it is really crazy that these folks who have created this world for us is living how they are fucking living, okay? The Council on Foreign Relations, Robert Rubin, George Soros, of all people, Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen. Why is the United States Treasury Secretary on the Council on Foreign fucking Relations when she is the chairman of the Federal Reserve? So which is it? Is she the Secretary of the Treasury or is she the chairman of the Federal Reserve? Which is it? Then you got Stanley Fisher. You got Lael Brainerd. You got John Kerry. You got Chuck Hagel. You got Jacob Lew, another Jew. You got Penny Patrick. You got Charles Johnson. You got Ernest Moniz. You got Sylvia Burwell. You got Susan E. Rice. And you got Michael Froman. These are all Jews. Okay? Why are the Council of Foreign Relations holding our money? Why? Please explain to me why in the world is the Council of Foreign Relations holding our fucking money? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. We don't even need the Council of Foreign Relations. Let's get rid of it. Let's fucking get rid of it. George Soros created Black Lives Matter, and all the money that they're getting, not one black person has gotten. Not one black person has gotten. If Black Lives Matter, why doesn't the money from the Black Lives Matter campaign go to the actual black people? Weird, huh? Weird, huh? Anywho, let's go ahead. Hold on. Why are you doing this? Okay. All right. The ICC, the Hague-based ICC, seeks to investigate and prosecute those responsible for grave offenses such as genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. There are 125 member countries, which dozens of governments are not ICC parties, including China, India, Israel, Russia, and the United States. Okay? Crimes against humanity have been committed, committed against humanity day in, day out, day in, day out. And the Council of Foreign Relations is mainly behind the fucking bullshit. Genocide and mass atrocities on the Council of Foreign Relations. Now, Congress should close the crimes against humanity involve a specific set of grave human rights violations committed as part of the widespread of systemic racism and abuse. It has to stop. It has to end. The way your country is governing each other, the way we are giving away funds to other countries and then depleting our own country, that is literally crimes against humanity. Okay? This is the Council of Foreign Relations website right here with foreign affairs. We don't need a Council of Foreign Relations. We don't even need to be having foreign relations with any other goddamn country. You do know that, right? We're tired of it. They're talking about we have human rights and politics and government and social issues. Sweetheart, y'all are the issue. You don't give us human rights. We don't have any rights. We're being robbed right now. Okay? Ban them motherfuckers right the fuck now. Shut the Council of Foreign Relations down. Now, when we go back here and we look at how the government is recovering in money, the fact that from 1868 until 1913, 90% of all federal revenue came from taxes on liquor, beer, wine, and tobacco. Why are you paying 30% in taxes if they're taxing you on smokes, liquor, beer, and wine? Answer these questions for me if you're so smart. If your God is so good, tell your God to please ask the question of why are humans running this goddamn earth instead of him? Why can't God control the earth if it's his? If this is God's domain, if this is Jesus who's supposed to be king, if Jesus is king, why isn't he on the throne? Stopping the Council of Foreign Relations. Please answer me that. In order for you to be a king, you have to sit on the throne and you have to serve the people. If you are dead or not here, you cannot be a king. Do you understand that? And we're actually bringing in more money than 5 trillion. We're bringing in like 30 trillion also. So that's more money unaccounted for. In the fiscal year 2025, federal revenue was equal to 17% of total gross domestic product of economy activity of the United States for that year was 5.23 trillion. Why do we compare federal revenue to gross domestic product? The comparison serves as a rough gauge of the size of the federal government's footprint related to the size of the country's economic activity. Since federal taxes are based on a percentage of income for people and businesses, as people and businesses earn more than the federal revenue from the taxes increase. Okay? The government cannot do it without you. That's why GPS is literally free, because the service is enjoyed through the world, funded by the general U.S. tax revenue. Not only are you paying for everybody's tracking GPS location, look how sick the world is. The government wants to know where you're at every hour of the day. So do you know that free GPS, which is global positioning system, is paid for by the taxes, by the taxpayers? The government has your location being tracked and funded by the U.S. tax revenue. Not to mention the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act, which was brought in to make sure that they don't lose sight of you. The Patriot Act of 2001 states that Title 3 of the Patriot Act, titled International Money Laundering Abatement and Financial Anti-Terrorism Act of 2001, is intended to facilitate the prevention, detection, and prosecution of international money laundering financing. Now listen here. Who's laundering money? If the government is taking 1,000% of your taxes. This goes against everything that they stand for. So, the formal name of the statute is the Uniting and Strengthening America by Providing Appropriate Tools Required to Intercept and Obstruct Terrorism. Meaning they can listen in on your calls, they can track your GPS location, they can check your bank records, they can look at every transaction under the Patriot Act. They literally let the CIA and Islam what's his name? They let Osama bin Laden, which is Tim, he's a CIA agent. They let the CIA attack its own citizens so they can incorporate the Patriot Act. How crazy is that? The Patriot Act was enacted following the September 11 attacks that we did on our own goddamn selves. You are paying for the Patriot Act. Did you know that? GPS tracking is funded by your taxes. How fucked up is that? So say if you ever got charged with, say if you did a murder. This is how the court can throw out your case. The fact that the government is tracking you under the Patriot Act with your own money, you can get your case thrown out. You can get your case thrown out. At no point in time, the government should say, where were you on the night of October 20th, something? Where were you? If the government can tell you where you were, then you're not supposed, what? Excuse me? That's an invasion of privacy. That is an invasion of privacy. Every murder case, and I hate to say this, say if I was the corrupted prosecutor or I was the corrupted lawyer in a case and I needed to get you free because you paid me $30,000 to get you free. Do you know what I'm going to argue? I'm going to come in on the Patriot Act. Because what do the police do when you're mentioning a crime? They put a search warrant on your cell phone. They put a search warrant on your house. And the fact that you can ping my location through the Patriot Act of 2011 and from my tax fundment, that's a misappropriation of funds. Nobody ever knew that their money was going to locate the GPS locale of every citizen in the goddamn world. You know how fast I would get that case thrown out because of an invasion of privacy? You wouldn't know that I was in that place to kill that person unless you were illegally invading my privacy. And then you go back and you look up the Patriot Act of 2011 and you see that GPS, global positioning is being paid out of your pockets to use against you at any time. Woo, you're talking about a civil lawsuit. Boy, I have a field day. You coming home. If I'm your lawyer, you coming home because the government invaded your privacy. Invaded your privacy. You're coming home, baby. I mean, I hate to be that evil, but you can easily get the case thrown out that easily. What is the government doing invading your privacy? They can't do that. Where was the search warrant to invade my privacy? You don't have a search warrant to invade my privacy. Even if I did a crime, say if me and a person got into it, the law cannot pick up charges. If the charges did not happen to the law, if the charges did not happen to the state, if the charges did not happen to the government affiliation that is bringing charges up against you, they cannot bring up charges up against you if the charges did not happen to them. Another case thrown out. You understand that? The government is picking up charges on you so they can create more revenue. The government is creating false charges on you so they can create revenue. Do you understand that? The government is tracking your GPS location so that not only so the officers have a quota they have to meet every month. They have to stage drugs on people. They have to stage traffic setups. That's why Georgia State Patrol sits like they do. That's why police officers sits like they do, because they got to make quota to bring in revenue for law enforcement officers to say, okay, we're the city of this da 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 da. Where's our funding going to come from? It's going to come from tickets. It's going to come from arrest. It's going to come from cases being open. Instead of y'all saying we're going to go solve all the unsolved mysteries, instead of y'all standing in these schools to protect these babies, y'all are standing up, hiding behind billboards, setting traps for the citizens to pay more money on the fucking taxes that they're already paying. Misappropriation of funds. I would be a great lawyer. I would be a great lawyer for the citizens of the globe. Do you understand me? There's so much corruption going on right now. It's not even funny. It's too many misappropriation of funds. That's another misappropriation of funds. Why are you using the taxpayers' money to track GPS location of every person in the world? We did not sign up for that. Nobody signed up to be watched by the government. No one. And you're telling me that you're tapping our phones? You're tapping our GPS location. Then you're setting us up for traffic traps. You're giving us speeding tickets when it's a car on the road for commercial purposes. It's completely legal. You don't have to have a license. That's why Donald Trump is saying, guess what? It's not illegal for you to have a license anymore. All of these laws they created was to create revenue. To take more money from you. Child, we will win in fucking court. Do you understand me? We would fucking win. We would tear it down. The government is abusing those funds that are giving to you. The fact that I just literally told y'all, hey, this is what your government is doing. GPS, which is Global Positioning System, which is why they're pushing for digital ID. Okay? Digital ID. This shit goes so deep. This shit goes so fucking deep that people are signing a digital ID card petition. The government wants to know your artificial intelligent submetrics, okay? Biometrics. This is why biometrics and digital ID is coming in, because the government has your global position. Okay? They're going to upload your consciousness to artificial intelligence, and everything will be ran by biometrics. Biometrics. Please wake up. Please wake up. You are the owners of the government. You, the taxpayers, own the government. So no, Donald Trump can't say, hey, I got to deport you. Nope. That's not how government works. ICE can't say, hey, I'm going to deport you. Nope. We, the taxpayers, pay the goddamn money. That's not how government works. That's not how this shit works. You work for us. You work for us. Do you understand that? That's why you're allowed to have food stamps. You're allowed to have free health care. You're allowed to have free education. You're allowed to have free money. Trump didn't come to drain the swamp. He came to drain the treasury. And that's what they're doing. A new live tracker has been set up called Trump's Take, and it currently shows the criminal president has used the presidency to rake in more than $1.8 billion, all while he refuses to distribute the SNAP benefits and keeps the government shut down. Donald Trump just made $1.8 billion by removing funding from the biggest resource of the country. You can't be this dumb. You really can't be this fucking dumb. But here we are. Huh. Here. Argentina, America gave $40 billion to Argentina instead of just feeding its own citizens. Watch this. America What does Argentina have to do to America? Please tell me. America gave $40 billion to Argentina. The U.S. government announced $40 billion in financial assistance package for Argentina, which includes a $20 billion currency swap line and an additional $20 billion financed by sovereign wealth funds and private banks. What did Crystal tell you about this word sovereign? That's why white people keep trying to make the word sovereign citizen like the woke word. You know how they did that? Oh, I can't stand a woke person. Oh, I can't stand that woke movement. Well, they're following up with the sovereign citizen. You are a sovereign citizen and you have a sovereign wealth fund. Okay? The fact that the government just literally took our money and gave it to Argentina on October 24th, 2025, instead of bailing out America is insane. That means just last week they gave out $40 billion instead of paying out SNAP benefits, which is your money. The aid is contingent on the success of President Javier Milei's La Libertad Avanza party in the upcoming midterm elections. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stated that the aid is not a gift but a loan coming from an emergency fund that can be used without congressional approval. Excuse me. No money can be given to any country without taxpayers' approval. We have to throw away the Congress. Congress can't approve shit if it's our money. Okay? The conditions for the aid package were not clearly defined, and the U.S. government is working on a partnership with the private sector to provide the additional financing. But you can't find the money to take care of the United States citizen. But on October 24th, 2025, mind you, today is Halloween, 10/31. What? How does that make sense? That makes no sense. No way, no how. Critics have raised concerns about the aid's political motivations and the potential impact on other sectors, such as the soybean farmers in Iowa and the Midwest. Huh. You got to arrest, persecute, and execute Donald Trump, Marjorie Taylor, Jasmine Crockett, the Republicans, the Democrats, the liberals, the conservatives, anybody in the congressional government, anybody in the GOP, anybody who is a politician right now in the goddamn Senate, you must be persecuted and executed. You got to die today. You have to die today. This is misappropriations of funding for the American public. No lawyer in the world, no judge in the world will literally say, okay, America, you're not guilty of misappropriating funds. We will win this case hands down. Matter of fact, we can go get the government overturned and impeached right now if you stand the fuck up and come with me. If you overthrow the government with me, you would be richer. You would have reparations. You would have land. You would have free healthcare. You would have free education. You would have money in your actual goddamn pocket if you let go the government and religion and come with me. We can build a way better world than what the government is giving you. How hard is that? Unless you done sold your soul to Lucifer. And you have a binding contract that you cannot get rid of. You understand that, right? Which brings me to my next point. My next point that I want to bring up to you is, you see, everything is political theater, a social experiment to make you say, okay, I have to make this world a better place. And I got to save myself. Okay? I have to save myself because no one is coming for me. If you recall this week, Billie Eilish said, if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? Give away your money, shorties. You know why she said that? Let me tell you why she said that. Because if you have been living under a rock these past 70 fucking years, the Illuminati game has been correct every goddamn time. You know what the Illuminati game says? The Illuminati game says, eat the fucking rich. This is the purge. This is the Hunger Games. It is time to eat the rich. This is the Hunger Games. Carefully orchestrating the media, you create an insane groundswell of anger, blaming the wealthy and powerful for everything. This card may be played by any media group which makes an attack to destroy against a group with a power of 6 or more, or aides that have attacked. It gives an extra plus 10 points to the attack and makes it privileged. Now, Mark Zuckerberg, the fact that they're reporting that some attendees were impressed by the 23-year-old speech. However, an eyewitness revealed to People's Magazine that Mark Zuckerberg, the third richest person in the world with an estimated net worth of $257 billion, didn't join the rest of the audience to applaud Billy. The guy who's been literally trampling over your First Amendment is mad that Billie Eilish says eat the rich. It is time to eat the fucking rich. Why are y'all not catching? Hey, it's time to go to war. This is a civil war. This is the American Revolutionary War Part 2. It is time to get on the front lines and fight for your rights. Why do you not want to do this? Why do you keep voting evil back in? Why do you keep selling your soul for $7.25 an hour? It doesn't make sense to me. Unless you sold your fucking soul. Unless Crystal is right, this is hell. Huh? I think I'm right that this is hell. And that the voters are the minions to Lucifer and Satan. You know that, right? I just want to put that out there. I just want to put that out there. We know that evil people don't have a soul. And we know that the good people have a soul. So that's why this is a war for good versus evil. And the evil people with no soul are the voters. Hello. Shaboing. Catch on. All those people who said wear a mask. All those people said get a vaccine. All those people said make America great again. All those people who voted for Biden. All those people who voted for Trump. All those people who voted for Obama. All those people who voted for George Bush. All those people who voted for Bill Clinton are people with no souls, and they are paid and bought for. How do you not see this? You're not going to keep voting for evil. Okay? You're just not going to keep it voting for evil. I can't make this shit up if I wanted to. So this is a game, Hunger Games, that we're playing. And if you're not playing the Illuminati card game, you better wake up. You better wake up, because the plague of demons are literally running the fucking world. Okay? Give me that. Open image in a new. These cards are foretelling you all the things that are going to come on this demonic realm. The plague of demons are literally in the Senate. Disaster. This is an instant attack to destroy any place except a huge one. You must spend an action from a magic group. The power of the attack is 10, plus the power of the group summoning the demons. If the attack succeeds, the target is devastated. If the dice roll succeeds by more than 5, the target is completely destroyed. Y'all remember the attack on the Capitol? January 6th insurrection. The January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Okay? You guys are not paying attention. This has been foretold. This has been foretold. The insurrection was in Trump's name. Where do you think the plague of demons came from? Is it making sense to you now? Is life making sense? I hope this is all playing out for you, because all of this shit is supernatural. All of this shit is black magic. All of this shit has been foretold. You're not playing the Hunger Games correctly. You're not living correctly. This life is a game, sweetheart. Life is a game. The fact that the Supreme Court is the Illuminati and they're telling you this shit in these card games is atrocious to me. The fact that the Democrats and Republicans are literally worshiping the gold calf, it's atrocious to me that you guys are not seeing this. The fact that we got to eat the fucking rich in order to succeed is astounding to me. And the fact that goddamn Donald Trump is literally on the fucking 1979 Illuminati card game, Enough is Enough. Remember, I told you everything that I literally predicted came true. He's still trying to be the last president ever. Okay? Dollars for decency. Why do you think this card is in the Illuminati card game? Huh? Yeah, it's time to wake up. It is time to literally save yourselves. You know that, right? Place in action. Place an action token on any one straight group or one or two or more straight groups where current power adds up to 5 or less. This card may not be given to a group that already has tokens or a group which is suffering from the effect that prevents it from getting action tokens. Now, why do you think all of these pastors was telling you to give $2,000? Look at Marvin Winans' net worth. He's worth $5 million. And he had the nerve to tell this woman her money wasn't good enough. Marvin Winans rebukes offering. The incident involving Bishop Marvin Winans and his congregation member Roberta McCoy has sparked significant backlash and discussion. During a church fundraising event, Winans corrected McCoy for giving $1,200 instead of requesting $2,000, which led to claims of rebuke of public embarrassment. However, both Winans and McCoy have clarified that the pastor's actions were not meant to shame her or embarrass him, but rather to maintain order and ensure that donations were given in a structured manner. Now, excuse me. If a tithing is donations, that's like saying every time you donate, you can only donate me $1 million. You can't give me what you have to spare. Is this godly? Or is this the mafia extorting you for your money? You guys are not stupid. And the fact that y'all literally go to church and give 20% of your money on top of the 30% tax on top of the daily 7% tax. It's astounding to me how dumb you are. Why do you need money to save your soul? If someone was saving your soul, they would do it for spiritual reasons and not financial reasons. You would go to a life coach for that. You would go to a therapist for that. You would go to a counselor for that. But as far as you giving money to hear a sermon that's outdated, and for you to still remain a sinner, seems like you're getting bamboozled. Why are you paying money and giving tithing if you're still a sinner? That's like you having all of your faith in Jesus, but you go to a doctor and you're still sick and you still got to refill your prescriptions. Well, if the doctor was healing you, if Jesus was healing you, why do you have to keep refilling the prescription? Make it make sense. None of this shit makes sense that y'all do. Y'all are in total denial that you are a meat suit without a fucking soul and a brain. And a bunch of minions and zombies are running around this earth serving the fucking Lucifer of hell. Please, will somebody wake me up? This is the worst Twilight Zone episode I've ever experienced in my life. You're telling me we have to give all of our money on earth to be abused. You're a born sinner, but somebody paid for your sins, but you're a born sinner. And not only do you have to pay your preacher 20% of your money, but you have to give your president 50% of your money. But you serve a mighty God. And then, this is why earth is a scam. This is why being a human is a scam. You serve a mighty God, but you pray for the lottery, you're still broke. You worship the God of Christianity, but you get cancer, and your prayers are not strong enough to remove the cancer, so you still die. Then you get baptized, and your mother puts the blood of Jesus Christ over you to cover and protect you. But do you know how many people die every day when they go out in the world and they're Christians? If the blood of Jesus is supposed to cover and protect you, I would never die. Are you not paying attention to this? Or if Goddess Oshun, the Yorubas, the Santerias, Muhammad, the Goyams, the synagogue of Satan, if all of y'all have all of this mojo and ancestral magic loaded up, why are y'all still dying of heart disease, cancer, AIDS, HIV, STDs, crime, drug overdoses, senseless murders? If your God is so good, why are y'all dying of cancer? If you are covered by the blood of Jesus, wouldn't you be covered from cancer, DUI, drunk drivers, going missing and kidnapping and being murdered? What does the blood protect you from? If crime is always happening to you, if trauma is always happening to you, if bad things keep happening to you, at what point are you not going to say, okay, my religion ain't working? My God's blood isn't working. The tithing that I give the pastor, the pastor told me to plant a seed. I would have the tithing, the pastor told me to plant a seed, okay? And I would have a husband. I would get a brand new car. I would get $100,000 sent in my account. Why are y'all poor? Why are you sick? Why are you dying? Why are y'all overdosing? Why are y'all being raped, murdered, kidnapped, and killed? Why are people still going missing? You don't think all the people who went missing and died weren't Christians? That shows you how bad the blood does not work. The blood of Christ does not work. And we have so many people dead, missing, abused, and gone. Make it make sense. The blood magic of your people, the voodoos, it don't work. Go back and look how many Jamaicans, Dominicans, Africans, spiritualists have all died while practicing their religion, and not 1 ounce of protection from any of the magic that they practice over the fucking years. If you're a warlock and if you're a witch, you should never die, because you got magic, right? Okay, if you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, none of y'all should ever die or get sick, because your God is an awesome God who reigns and protects you. Y'all always say, Jesus, take the wheel. I wonder how all the people who died behind the fucking wheel was Christians. I bet you they were like, well, Jesus, why didn't you take the wheel? You were literally supposed to take the wheel. When is he going to take the wheel? There's no way in the world I'm going to claim a religion for me to go through poverty, death, abuse, drug use, and misappropriations of my funds, and to become a slave. There's no way there's not enough faith on this earth to make me believe in an invisible entity or an invisible ancestor who is protecting me while I'm getting my ass whooped by the goddamn government and the demonic entities that come with it. Why are you suffering so much if you have a God? Why are you suffering so much if you have magic? Why are you suffering so much if you have ancestors, is what I'm saying to you. I don't believe in shit but evil. I tell you who ain't been wrong. I tell you who's been living right. Evil. Evil wins. Pedophiles rape children, they get off. The government takes our money, they get off. They actually get a honor. They get the Nobel Peace Prize. They get literally put up on a pedestal for robbing their citizens of their money. No, you'll never make me believe in religion. You'll never make me believe in a God. You'll never make me believe in magic. You'll never make me believe in ancestors while we're sitting here suffering so goddamn bad. And everybody can't afford to live. But everybody has a religion. Everybody has magic. Everybody is chosen. But everybody's being robbed and enslaved by the government. You'll never convince me. You will never in a million years convince me that God is good. Or that you're protected under the blood. Never. What about all those people who got baptized and died? Can you imagine being baptized thinking you're covered? And then you fucking die the worst fucking way. Non-believers are winning. Non-believers are actually, the atheists are winning, child. How is your life any different from the atheist who's having the same suffering you have and he believes in nothing, but you're having the same suffering that he has and you believe in everything? But your lives are still the same. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I can't be the smartest person in the world. I can't be the only person in the world that sees this is not okay. I can't be the only person in the world who sees the similarities of the atheist and the believer are having the same fucking horrible enslaved lives. All right. Anyway, let me continue on with what I had to share with y'all. This is the moment you're supposed to create the American Revolutionary Part 2 and eat the rich. Okay? Privilege attack, Nobel Peace Prize. Why do you think Donald Trump keeps saying he wants to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, he says it all day long, all day long. Nobel Peace Prize. This card may be played at any time and counts as the action of the group it affects. The increased power takes effect immediately. Now, let's pull up footage of Donald Trump keep talking about he won a Nobel Peace Prize so bad. Donald Trump hasn't kept the peace. I don't know what the fuck you would want a Nobel Peace Prize for. But news about Donald Trump wanting a Nobel Peace Prize. For what, bro? For what? A strong handshake and another Nobel Prize nod for Trump in Japan. How Donald Trump could still win the Nobel Peace Prize. If this wasn't a weird way to award evil villains, okay? Why is this card? Oh, let me get rid of some of these. Why are these cards in the Illuminati card game? Make it make sense. Please make it make sense right now before I get pissed off. If the Illuminati card game isn't correct, you see a man in transgender drag with the Illuminati symbol earrings. Peace stands for war. You know that? The peace sign is a sign for war. Okay? This card may be played at any time and counts as the action for the group it affects. The increased power takes effect immediately. The power for one of the peaceful group is to increase to 6 points. Link this card to your chosen peaceful group. No player may have more than one Nobel Peace Prize play. Okay? And all Trump won't stop talking about is receiving a goddamn Nobel Peace Prize. What peace has he kept? Donald Trump gets new Nobel Peace Prize nod for making the COVID vaccine. Shut the fuck up. I hate it here on earth. I hate it here on fucking earth. They're about to give him a Nobel Peace Prize for creating the COVID vaccine that killed everybody. Donald Trump gets a new Nobel Peace Prize nod for the COVID vaccine. Republican Senators Bill Cassidy of Louisiana and John Barrasso of Wyoming introduced a resolution recommending President Donald Trump receive the Nobel Peace Prize due to his successful efforts to expedite the creation of the COVID-19 vaccines via Operation Warp Speed during the 2020 pandemic. Donald Trump has been killing y'all since 2019, and you're going to give him the Nobel Peace Prize for killing people off? I hate it here. I hate y'all. I hate y'all and your gods with everything in me, and I hope you die a horrid death. Because you lived a horrid life and you gave horror to those while you were living, you raggedy ass piece of shit. And anybody who stand behind any president, any Democratic Party, any GOP, any politician, you need to die slow. Just like you kill all these innocent babies, all these innocent civilians, all these innocent citizens, all these people who voted for these monsters to take over our world, baby, you gotta go. You need to go. You need to go. Anyway. That's why Billie Eilish is doing a pledge drive. Now these celebrities are getting up here. I pledged $11 million. Well, I pledged this much money. I pledged da-da-da-da-da. The Illuminati card game is literally predicting everything correctly. Now celebrities up here talking about, I'm pledging this much. I'm pledging this much. Well, it was all predicted in 1979 what was going to happen in 2025. That's why God is not the creator of your world. That's why God does not have a future for you if man controls your future. If man can predict the time of day that you're going to die, where does God reside? No fucking where. Because any man or woman can walk up to you right now and put a gun to your head and take you the fuck out if they so choose to. God has no protection here on earth. And the fact that kids go missing every goddamn day, and that's what evil people do, go out and cause harm and chaos into the world, speaks volumes about that speaks volumes for the God that you serve. Why won't he save his people? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. So these fools are out here doing a pledge drive. All right? If you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? Give away your money, shorties. These celebrities don't have a fucking soul. Don't have a soul. That's why they got so much money. That's why they got so much money. A new live tracker has been set up called Trump's Take, and it currently shows the criminal president has used the presidency to rake in more than $1.8 billion, all while he refuses to distribute SNAP benefits and keeps the government shut down. Trump didn't come to drain the swamp. He came to drain the treasury. Please wake up. They came to take that money and they fucking did. Okay? Shout out to Grady Snow for this. People are starting to realize that both sides of the government are bad. Grady said Republicans could have done this at any time to end the shutdown. Both Democrats and Republicans were using people going hungry as leverage to get what they want from the other government. Y'all keep pointing fingers at each other, and the whole time politicians are the real enemies of the American dream and the American people. The fact that they as a whole use hunger as a leverage is not only selfish, but unacceptable. And this is where we have to overthrow the government. Join the good side for the human sake. Please join the side of good. Stop joining the side of evil. Humanity needs you. Donald Trump said because of the fact that the Democrats have gone stone cold crazy, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear options, get rid of the filibuster, and make America great again. This fool is talking about cracking open the nuclear weapons to bomb the Democrats that actually live in the United States with us. This is why them fools made the bunkers. Hello. The trend of celebrities building bunkers for doomsday preparedness has gained significant attention, with many high-profile individuals investing in extravagant, luxurious bunkers. Here are some of the notable examples. Number one on the fucking list is Mark Zuckerberg, reportedly constructing a 5,000 square foot underground bunker for his $100 million Hawaii compound, featuring living quarters of a mechanical room and escape hatch. Kim Kardashian engaged in a bunker touring, although the specifics of her bunker are not publicly disclosed. Tom Cruise is rumored to have built a bunker worth $10 million under his Telluride estate, which includes a high-tech air purifying shelter. Shaquille O'Neal, known for his investment in Doomsday Bunker, although the details are not publicly available. Why do you think Donald Trump is talking about dropping a nuke on America? Meanwhile, all of these celebrities have got their bunkers ready for the moment that he does what? Push the button. You guys are not paying attention to what they're trying to tell you. The fact that the Democrats and the Republicans played you with climate change and all that stuff. Remember how the Bill Gates said, climate change is killing us, climate change is that? Donald J. Trump said, we just won the war on the climate change hoax. Bill Gates has finally admitted that he was completely wrong on the issue, and it took courage to do so. And for that, we are all grateful. MAGA. The fact that the past 5 years, because Donald Trump, you've been president since 2019, and you have allowed Bill Gates to literally say climate change this, climate change that, and you're just now mad because he's not doing something that you want to do, so now you're outing him? Where were you in 2019 when he was talking about climate change? You were the president then. You are the president now. Why didn't you stop him at the beginning? Why are you only stopping him now? That doesn't make sense. Wake up. They're all doing this shit together. Warren Buffett once again shown why he's one of the world's most respected philanthropists in the world. The billionaire investor has donated a staggering $6 billion to combat world hunger. This is stupid. Because if it's 9 billion people on the planet, Warren Buffett donates $6 billion. Sweetheart. That means 6 billion people gets $1 apiece, leaving 3 billion people without $1. Let's do this math. How many people in the world is it? It's approximately 8.2 billion people. Warren Buffett, I love math. You can tell I love math. Warren Buffett donates $6 billion globally for world hunger. Warren Buffett has donated $6 billion to 5 charities, making his largest annual donation in nearly 20 years. He's given $6 billion to fight global hunger. How is this going to help anyone when it's approximately 8.2 billion people in the world? That's $1 a piece. We can't even buy a pack of ramen noodles with $1 anymore because now it's $1.50. How is this helping? Now, if you'd have gave $6 billion to Americans, that would be great. That would work. But the fact that he just gave you a backhanded slap to your face by donating $6 billion to the globe is literally $1 for 6 billion people, leaving 2.2 people out with nothing to give from this. You see how this world works? How fucked up is that? You're not helping anybody. This is ridiculous. The billionaire investor has donated a staggering $6 billion to combat world hunger, urging the wealthy to step up and make a tangible impact on global food security. His message is clear. It's time for those who have the means to act. This is why we're supposed to eat the rich. Okay? Wake up. Please wake up. $6 billion going to end world hunger? How can $6 billion end world hunger if it is 8.2 billion people in the world? That's a slap in the fucking face, dude. Fuck out of here. Now, if you said $6 billion to feed America, $6 billion, there's 400 million. How many people in America? It's 341 million people. Okay? If we take $6 billion, if we take $6 billion divided by 340 million people, let's see, 6 billion divided by 341, 6 billion divided by 341 million, 6,000, percentage of 6,000 divided over 341, that's $17.60 per person. Oh my God. I'm so sick of y'all. Bro, $6 billion can't even feed America. That is one hamburger combo meal at your favorite local hamburger restaurant. That is $17.66 per. I'm tired of billionaires. You take 6,000. Let me tell you how you get this. You take, okay, 6 billion. And in percentages teaches us take 6 billion, which becomes 6,000 divided by 341. Then you break that down and it divides into 17 It's going in 6,000 goes into 341, 17 times 17 point, remainder of 6, carrier 6. So that's 17.6. That's $17.60 per person. I'm good with math. You're not going to, listen here, I'm the best student you have ever met in your life. You're not going to trump me on no history, no government, no math. You're not going to trump me on no science, no math, no history, no nothing. Stop playing. I'm not stupid. And the fact that y'all keep getting in my face and playing me for stupid is beyond me. $6 billion for 340 million people is $17.60 a piece. That is the equivalence of a hamburger meal at Sonic. You can get a hamburger meal, an ice cream, and an extra large Route 44 drink at Sonic for $25. And that barely covers your DoorDash fee. So say if the normal fucking burger is $15, you only have $2, which probably is going to go into taxes. That goes to taxes. So you're spending $17 for a hamburger, fry, and a drink. How does this end world hunger? Please tell me. You guys are stupid. And I hate it here. And fuck you. And I hate y'all too. Had to be said. Anyway, everybody talking about how poor people shouldn't be able to buy junk food on food stamps. Well, I don't think billionaires ought to be able to buy 14-year-olds on private islands. But here we are. Why do the rich get to buy slaves and kids, rape them on their own private island, and then dispose of them? That's crazy. You cannot use money to buy and kill people for your own advances, for your own financial advances. Y'all have the weirdest outbursts. Breaking news. Republicans in Congress will soon introduce legislation to ban all non-citizens from receiving welfare, including food stamps, Section 8 housing, Medicaid, and cash assistance. Why are you giving money to a non-citizen any fucking way? This is another way of misappropriating funds paid by the taxpayer. Why are you giving money to non-citizens any fucking way? When someone asks me my political views, I say fuck the government on both sides. I refuse to take any sides in this goddamn government. I refuse. And if you haven't heard, President Trump refuses to rule out a third term and says he's got perfect MRI at Walter Reed so he can be the president again. Absolutely fucking not. We're not doing this again. We will not do this again. We're not. Governor Whitmer and 21 of her other counterparts around the country are asking the USDA to provide November SNAP benefits as scheduled. You have to. You have to. The fact that all these Congress people are making all this big money and they're shut down, the government should never be shut down because the taxpayers' money is already allotted, already budgeted to stay open throughout every year. Okay? We're not stupid. And we're just fed up. We're literally fed the fuck up. Okay? Let me see. I think that's all I have for you. But I wanted to give y'all a lesson in United States history. Okay? No taxation without a representation is a real fucking thing. If what these guys are doing with the tax doesn't represent what you put your money in the fucking thing to, hey, I'm putting money into the tax pool so that we can all have good roads, so we can all have trash waste removal services. You shouldn't even be paying for your garbage to come get picked up because that's what your taxes are already paid for. There's nowhere in the world any garbage or waste removal services is asking you to pay $50 a month to have your garbage picked up because that's what your taxes pay for. There's nowhere in the world any road in the United States should have a pothole in it because that's what your taxes pay for. There's no way in the world you don't have parks, you don't have free education, and you don't have free health care because that's what taxes are made for. And the fact that your taxes are being abused is called misappropriation of fund and should cause for the IRS to audit the government. That's it. This ain't rocket science. It's not. Okay? Let me see if I have anything else for you before I get you up out of here. I just wanted to make that clear. I'm so tired of y'all crying about people with food stamps when it's their money. They have put in so much money that they can do whatever the fuck they want. If they want $2,000 of food stamps a month, they can because they've already paid their dues, you idiot. I get so upset with watching y'all talking about food stamp recipients going to get their nails done, going to get their hair done. So, it's their money. They can do whatever. If they want to go fucking pay for a goddamn stripper at Magic City, they can do so because it's their money. You take your money that you get paid with and you go down to the strip club and you waste your money. You take your money and you go get your hair done. You go get your nails done. But just because you don't reach back and pull out of your trust fund doesn't mean you can go get mad at somebody else who chose to go pull from their trust fund. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You're an American citizen. You can do whatever you want to with your money that you have already put in on the blood, sweat, and tears. You know that, right? I'm just letting you know. Your tax money is yours to do whatever you want to with. You have a fund set up by the government so that you are allotted to do all of these fucking things. Okay? I don't want to hear anybody else complaining about food stamps recipients. Talking about they're looting for food stamps. No, they're not. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. The poorest man pays 30% in taxes, whether he's living off the government or not. Yeah, y'all, I want to say this. Y'all are the stupidest groups of adults I've ever seen in my life. Y'all are the dumbest and the most evilest and the most irreparable human I've ever encountered in my fucking life. And I personally think you should die. Your bloodline should die out. Because you have a problem with tax-paying citizens reaching back into their trust fund to use resources to live. You're the worst kind of human on earth. You shouldn't be alive. You shouldn't be allowed to live another day if this is the way you feel about hard-working taxpayers using their money to live when they already overgiven. How petty do you have to be to get mad at food stamp recipients for using their own money to eat or to keep themselves up? And then y'all acting like these food stamp recipients get a lot of money. Food stamps literally breaks down to 98 cents on the dollar, when the value of the dollar is literally like 120. So when they use their food stamps, they get their tax write-off. Okay, literally it's 98. So they pay 98 cents. They only pay a few cents shorter than you when you use cash. But it's still their money to do whatever they want to with. If they want to sell their food stamps, which is their tax money that they've already paid in, to make more money for them to live, pay bills, and do all that shit, they can do that. It's their money. Why are you checking someone else's pockets? This is weird. You don't want to send them money, but you want to tell them what to do with their money? This is so weird. And why I'm repulsed by you guys. I am repulsed that no one passed AP. This is literally AP US history that you didn't pay attention to. Now, what does your tax money go towards? Do you see that keyword, your? Y-O-U-R? What does your tax money go towards? Taxpayer contributions cover a wide range of public services and programs, including but not limited to health insurance. There's no way in the world that you are buying Aetna, that you are buying Blue Cross, that you are buying United Healthcare. There's no way in the world that you are having to pay for insurance when your taxes pays for health insurance that you already have. You see, the government tricked you good. You didn't know about your trust fund until I showed you that, hey, you already have free health care, which taxes are supposed to pay for anyway. And then the fact that Aetna, United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield comes to your house and say, hey, you want to pay for insurance? When you're already paying for insurance from your trust fund that your taxes pay. So your taxes already pays for free health care, but the government is turning around and charging you for health care? Oh. But you believe God is good, and you believe your president is good, and you believe your Democratic Party is good. How they're robbing you twice. That's why you're supposed to have free health care, sweetheart. It's already paid for in your trust fund. And that's what tax money goes to pay for you to have free health care. Let's keep breaking it down. What else does your tax money goes towards? Social Security. Funding for the Social Security program, which provides retirement, disability, and survivor benefits. Are you not a survivor of COVID? Are you not a survivor of the pandemic? So let me talk to you about Social Security. Social Security is all the money which the government should never touch. Say if you ever lose your job, you should be able to tap into your Social Security money. Say if you're ready to retire at 30 years old, you should be able to use your Social Security money. There's nothing in the world that says you got to wait till you're 65 years old to tap into your Social Security money that you've been paying. Even remember you were a little kid and used to get birthday money and you would go to the store and you would spend your money on what? Candy, toys. Even as a child, you were paying taxes. So you see how long you've been paying taxes and how much money comes back to you? Wow. The government has y'all really fucked up as to what your taxes go for and who has the real power. You have the real power. That's why your Social Security benefits should never be touched by the government. The government should never hold your money. You should have a big bank that says, this is my Social Security money that I put back in taxes over the years and that I can use from whenever I feel free to. So your taxes pays for your retirement anytime you're disabled and anytime you're a survivor of any war, of any tragedies, of any pandemics, of any epidemics, of anything that goes on with this world, any recessions, that's survivor benefits. And you are to use all of your Social Security money or any of your Social Security money anytime that we have a war, a recession, an epidemic, a pandemic, a plandemic, or revolution. Do you understand that? Number 3, your tax paying money goes toward national defense. No, police cannot have natural immunity. No police can have immunity if our tax paying money is going to these officers to kill other people. No, no, no. This is why the government cannot give police officers full immunity, because the money, if you touch a citizen with police brutality, you need to be sued, you need to go to jail, and you need to be held accountable. And this should not come out of the taxpayers' fund, because we pay for national defense. Having the army come in and introduce martial law on us cannot be done on the people's dime. Cannot be, because we pay for the military. We are your corporal. We are your captain. We are your general. Not the fucking Department of Defense, not the Attorney General, not the fucking Chief of Staff, but the American public is literally the Chief of Staff for the military and the intelligence agencies. So no, nobody should be over the CIA. No, nobody should be over FBI. No, nobody should be over ICE when the taxpayers pay these people for these services. Number 4, public infrastructure. Building, maintaining, and improving the roads, bridges, public transportation systems, and other essentials infrastructure. Meaning Uber should be free. Lyft should be free. Bus routes should be free. Train, planes, and automobiles of any traveling kind should be free. If you wanted to go see your relatives in Michigan, guess what? You spend so much money on the public infrastructure that you can either fly, put gas in your car, or take a bus. Because you have put so much money into the public infrastructure that you've already paid for the building, maintaining, and improving of the roads, bridges, public transportation systems, and other essential infrastructures. You've already paid for it. There's no reason we should have traffic in Atlanta. There's no reason any road should have a pothole when we've already paid for public infrastructure. Okay? Public welfare, the welfare of the public. Your tax money, which is your trust fund, which is your Social Security money, literally pays for the welfare of the public. Social welfare programs designed to provide a safety net and support for vulnerable populations. These contributions are essential for the functioning of the government and the delivery of the services that benefit the population as a whole. That's why I told you, every person has already paid for their public welfare. When they cannot pay for the welfare of their own people, they can reach out for social welfare programs that will help them be well in their fare. Do you understand that? They've contributed so much money and put back so much money that they have money that will take care of the welfare of their being. Whether they're poor, rich, happy, sad, it doesn't matter. Because they've already been allotted that money through Social Security, through disability, through retirement, through funding, through all of these things the taxpayer has already paid for, but you're being made to pay double, triple the amount with health insurance. Now you're paying taxes on already retirement and disability that you've already paid taxes on. National defense, they're not even using the national defense correctly. We have police brutality. As long as we have women dying and getting raped in the military, okay? As long as we have citizens dying of police brutality, the military needs to be disbanded. Law enforcement needs to be disbanded. That's why they keep saying defund the police, defund the military. If you don't want to do right by the citizens that are paying your salary, you need to be defunded. Your job needs to be removed. And we need to get people who's going to fight for the people. This is what no taxation without representation means. There's nobody in there who's representing the rights for sovereign citizens of the globe. There's nobody in there fighting for free healthcare. There's nobody in there fighting for free money. There's nobody in there fighting for free education. There's nobody in there fighting for the right to be free. And we have a problem. That's with no taxation without representation. You cannot tax me if you're not properly representing me. This is AP US History Government Politics 101. Okay? You guys cannot be this dumb, cruel, or cold-hearted and inhumane to let this keep going the fuck on. Please stop. They gave you an entire class of U.S. history because the British took over the United States so bad and started taxing us when we can literally self-govern ourselves. You already do. You're the head of household. All of your money needs to stay within your household. It doesn't need to go in the U.S. Treasury. It doesn't need to go in the Federal Reserve. It needs to go in your pocket. How hard is that to see? How hard is that to want a better future for yourself? I'm so confused. How do you say you love yourself when you're getting robbed every fucking day? Huh? All right. That's all the time I have for you today. And I just wanted to break this shit down to you. Because I'm tired of seeing stupid people talking about food stamp beneficiaries. In order to receive benefits, you got to be having some kind of income. And if you don't, it's okay, because you put in so much money in your trust fund that you are allotted resources, funding for public welfare being, for social welfare being. It's your money. They can't tell you what to do with it. Okay? So there you have it. This has been another edition of What Cho Meme News. I hope this has helped everyone. I hope this has helped everyone. Food banks will not be able to feed 42 million families before the holidays. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And this is your government acting a goddamn fool. And this is why we have to impeach these fools and give the power back to the people. You have to give the power back to the people. Okay? The USDA, the FDA, the CDC has allowed toxic chemicals in your food so bad that blood pressure medicine, glucose medicine, Ozempic, and all that shit is giving you cancer. This turbo cancer is so bad. They told you they were going to give you turbo cancer. Now they're recalling the blood pressure medicine. It's being recalled over high level of cancer causing chemicals. The fact that the USDA, the FDA, allows cancers to be put in your food to give you turbo cancers, that's literally attempted premeditated murder. That is premeditated murder. And these government-owned places like the FDA and the USDA and the CDC that are government-owned by us, by the taxpayers, we are literally spending all this money to let the government poison us with chemicals? Man, we've had enough. We really had enough. Why do you think all of our food is banned in Europe? All of our food is banned in Europe. Honey, I'm alarmed too. Listen what this guy has to say as well. And I think this is funny. Hold on.
Can you imagine being so fucking stupid that you really believe people on food stamps are why your life sucks? It's not billionaires. It's not the fact that we spend $900 billion on the military annually. It's not the fact that worker productivity has gone up 60% since 1979, but wages have only gone up 16%. No, it's the guy buying Cinnamon Toast Crunch with an EBT card. I think it's bleak as hell that millions of people need help in the richest economy in human history. Yes, absolutely. But my question has never been, why do we need to help poor people? It's always been, why the fuck do full-time workers qualify for food assistance in the richest economy in human history? So let me be clear, if your outrage is aimed at people trying to eat and not the people who own everything, then you're a useful idiot for billionaires. You are political relations for people who are stealing your children's future, selling out your fellow Americans for absolutely nothing, and you look like a fucking clown doing it. They don't pay you, they don't thank you, and they will never let you sit at their table. You're not protecting the country, you're protecting the people bleeding it dry, and you're doing it like it's a fucking honor. Can you imagine being so fucking stupid that...
Shout out to Pete for sending that message. I think it needs to be reiterated every goddamn day how fucking stupid y'all are. Y'all are the epitome of evil. You are the epitome of stupidity. You are the epitome of why the education system is failing. You are the reason why they're letting Vince McMahon's wife be the chairman over Department of Education. You are fools. You are fools. I can't say it enough. I really can't. You make me sick to my goddamn stomach that you are going against your own people to protect these greedy, evil sellouts. It's fucking ridiculous and embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's so bad that they're telling you your only means of money is going to be OnlyFans. OnlyFans beats Apple and Nvidia to become the world's most revenue efficient company, making $37.6 million per employee. OnlyFans, which is owned by a Jew, which literally says You're going to have sex anyway. You might as well let us see you how you're having sex. You might as well sell your body. And the fact that they're making OnlyFans the #1 commodity of you being able to make money speaks volumes. They want you to sell your soul and your goddamn whole. Wake up. Okay? Please wake up. We don't have time for this. The fact that Hollywood producers are being sentenced to 146 years for raping and murdering models, well, eat the rich. Rich people lure these normal citizens in to be murdered and raped because they're bored with their money. We're giving Hollywood too much money. We're giving Satanism too much money. We're giving politicians too much money. For what? For you to be kidnapped, raped, and murdered? Just because they're bored with their money? Wow. This is why the Epstein files don't matter. Because the rich are so bored that they're starting to cannibalize the U.S. citizens. You know that, right? Yeah, this is a horrible world. This is a horrible world. And ain't no God that is benevolent signing off on this bullshit. This has been another edition of What You Meme News. I'm your amazing host here in Crystal Clear, and I hope this clears shit up for you. How a government should be ran. How you should be top priority. You see? You see why I feel like I'm the only smart person in this world? You see why I feel so alone? Because y'all are living under delusions and lies. You're living under delusions and lies. And you think you have the upper hand when you don't. You can, you could. At what point are you going to stand up for yourself and overthrow your fucking government? All right? If you like what we do here, What You Meme News, and you want to make contributions and say, hey, thanks for this fucking live. Thank you for this history lesson. Thank you for this economics course that you have just given us. Thank you for the realization and the education of giving the power back to the people. And you want to bless me for that? You can. Cash App is Oracle 833. Cash App is Oracle 833. Okay, baby? These shows like this and people like me is what donations should go for. You want to throw all your money away on the government? All you got to do is literally pay me a decent salary and I'll give you all your money back. Abolish taxes. You get free healthcare, free education. Why wouldn't you want to put me as president? Why wouldn't you want to make me your president? Why? I'm going to give you reparations. I'm going to give you free healthcare. I'm going to give you all the tax money that you ever spent in your life back. Why not put somebody good in to fight for the people? Make it make sense. It's been another edition of What You Meme News. I'm your amazing host here in Crystal Clear. If you would like to purchase a parasite detox for $1, a herbal supplement pill, you can leave the comment VR in the comments. I'll ring you up. And if you would just like to say, hey, thank you for what you do, make a donation, you can do that too. Cash App, Oracle 833. All right? But other than that, I'm literally teaching you for free. Because I love you. I'm saving your soul for free because I love you. You see that? You see how you'll go to the church and you'll give that man all your money when I just gave you free game of how to save your soul? I gave you free game. And I asked for nothing in return. But if you do want to make a donation, that's cool. Other than that, I just gave you free advice that the government keeps taking money from you for. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that to be a problem? All right. Get on out of here. I love you and I appreciate you. And we'll try to do more videos of What You Meme News. But I just thought I would make my combat with how stupid and low and evil your fellow man is being. Because they're literally attacking poor people who are already given the money for the services that they are rendering. Wake the fuck up. Give the power back to the people. Another edition of What You Meme News. We're out, baby.